Captain. When I met Sheriff Babeu, he came to me as a sheriff and said, I need somebody to do the accreditation in the detention center. And the important thing I looked at was not because of my race, it's not because I'm a Democrat, what party I'm associated with, it's because of my abilities to do the job. Coming to Pinal County, bringing the first accreditation into the state of Arizona for a detention center, as well as the second one in the nation through the National Sheriff's Association, it's important to know that he hires people to do the job for what's there. You're concerned about a scandal? Well, Sheriff Babeu is not married. It's not with an individual who is married. This is his personal life, and it should be left with his personal life. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jay Stewart. I live down south in what we call the No Man's Land. Paul and I have become friends due to where I live. It's quite unusual to get to know the sheriff of any county by, I guess, the events that go around your house. But in the time I've known Paul, he's always been there. I can reach him 24 hours a day. I like the second or third point made about sexual orientation. In this case, it's absolutely irrelevant. Paul does a great job as a good person. Appreciate it.
Chris Emmons, who's a fellow police officer from Chandler. We served together, met back in 2002, great time. My name is Chris Emmons, it's C-H-R-I-S-E-M-M-O-N-S. I'm a police officer as well as a commissioned officer in the military. I've had the opportunity to serve with Paul several different situations, and the thing that I've always been impressed about this gentleman is it's performance and results driven. Every position that I've ever worked with Paul in, he has always excelled and accomplished at exceptional levels above and beyond what was asked. He did that through his professionalism and his ability to focus on and live the warrior ethos. And the warrior ethos is something that every person who served in the military knows. And it's based on service above self. And that's what this gentleman represents. That's what he represents for Pinal County, the state of Arizona, and one day, God willing, he will be there in Washington supporting us all. Because what we should be focused on right now, aside from his orientation, is the fact that we've got people out there unemployed who can't support their families, people who are out there struggling with our healthcare system because it's not taking care of them in the best country in the whole world. And this is the silly sideshow that we've come to represent as being so important to take time out of people's lives. Regardless of this gentleman's orientation, he's a fantastic leader. He represents you, he represents me, and every Arizonan will be lucky to have him represent us in Washington, D.C. Cool.
Hi, my name is Scott Blevins, S-C-O-T-T-B-L-E-V-I-N-S. I'm a Pinal County businessman. I've been in business for 10 years. When Sheriff Paul Babeu came into Pinal County and took control, his results of response times increased. He has let his employees elevate themselves and becoming better, creating a good environment in Pinal County. That also brings into account that flows over into what the residents of Pinal County say. I feel safer because Paul Babeu is my sheriff. He is a close friend of mine. I've been getting to know him for 4 years now. He has done every single thing he set out to do. He is the only politician that I have ever come across that has done that. He has made the residents of Arizona more aware of what's going on the border. He has turned heads. His sexual orientation has no business being put aside or set aside to a position where it doesn't allow him to affect the leadership. His leadership skills are beyond any person I've ever come across in my life. I'm proud of Sheriff Paul Babeu. I stand by Sheriff Paul Babeu. I know a lot of my business partners stand by Sheriff Paul Babeu in Pinal County. He's somebody that's going to be reckoned with, and I encourage his continuous challenges. He's a great person, and I support his future endeavors.
Cheryl Chase.
Cheryl Chase. I want you to know the man that I know. I met Paul when he came back from Iraq. and he was a major in the Army. He served his time in Iraq. He served our country. He secured our border in Yuma under his leadership. He was commander. Commander Chris Emmons was also with him then, and they did an exceptional job securing our border, and so that's what we need to be focused on. I came into office with him, and I worked with him side by side, and I know the love and the respect that people here and the people in the military have. I know a lot of his friends, and the love and the respect under this fine commander, under this fine sheriff, that's the thing to focus on, and I stand by Paul, always. Shirley, can you spell your name? C-H-E-R-Y-L?
Chase like the bank. She's a former state representative from Pinell County.
Yeah, I work with her.
She's actually running for. Anybody else? Representatives, mayor, everybody. All right. Well, we're here to take some of your questions or answer some further concerns that you may have, and be happy to do that.
Sure. With all due respect,
Yeah.
there are a bunch of racist photos up there out there right now on the internet. One under
Yep.
red. What would you like to say about those photos?
I'm not here to deny any of that. As I said in the very beginning, that these were photographs that are mine, that I sent to an individual that was meant only for their observation, not to be splashed on the internet or on TV or anything like that. And there still needs to be some bounds for privacy. And that's where, this isn't a case, somebody asked earlier today about Representative Wiener, and this has nothing to do with that. Not only was he married, he actually came forward, and his first statement was that he lied about that. You know, and somebody hacked into a system. Well, guess what? Somebody did hack into my system, and we've got proof of that. But here, I'm not disowning or lying about anything. This is a moment of truth for me, and I want to set the record straight so we can get on to the business of what's most important to Arizona, because I can tell you, this is probably the least of concern to real families and real people throughout our state, this issue.
But Sheriff, the fact that it causes people to potentially question your judgment. When, as a military officer and a sheriff of Pinell County, you allow these type of photographs to be taken, knowing your public position, and potentially expose yourself to this type of press conference.
Well, this is in my private, my personal life, and what I do in my private and personal life is my business, and that's where nothing has ever affected not only my command, my leadership, and my performance, and the results that are derived from that. And so I don't see that. And I believe most people, when you look at people in their judgment, and they sit in judgment of other people, it's like when it comes to real issues, when it comes to the importance of performance, and anything else that affects other people, that's a different matter and a different story. And you had a question,
Some people
yes?
are asking for your resignation this morning. What do you say to those people? And is that something you're considering?
Well, I've sworn an oath for a 4-year term as sheriff, and I am so honored to be able to complete that. And we're going to complete our 4-year term as sheriff with a bang. We've got a lot of fine leaders that we're going to carry on and ensure that these changes, these improvements, these reforms that are cemented in, and we build upon that with the next leader, whoever the next sheriff is. And in fact, this is a moment that we're not hiding or ashamed of anything. That I'm standing up saying that yes, I'm going to actively campaign for Congress in the 4th Congressional District, and I intend to continue to earn the trust of the people by talking about the real issues, talking about the fact that we have $16 trillion debt, the fact that 42 cents of every dollar that is spent today is borrowed. This is insanity. We can't continue doing this. Not just 8 or 9 or 10% unemployment. There's communities right here in Pinell County. The mayor of Coolidge is here, and his son TJ. Coolidge has 21% unemployment. These are the important matters of the families, of the individuals here in Arizona, and that's what we should be talking about. So that's why in this effort to come out and to say all these things, I don't want things to trickle out. I don't want things to be threatened and for people to be saying these things, or rumor mills and all the whispers. And this is where I've always kept that boundary to say this is my personal, my private life. But now it's not so private any longer, and it's an awful position for me to be in. I'm here at this moment, and I'm here accepting responsibility.
What was one way to
Yeah,
that position?
Served by posting explicit quotes of yourself on a public website. Any website from that?
Well, that's where here, as I mentioned, that what I do in my personal, my private life is my personal and private business with those individuals. Nothing has ever, it's not that I'm, as Ruben mentioned, I'm not married, I'm a single guy, I don't have a fake girlfriend. These are things that I choose to do. And this is where this should have no business coming out here to be a front page story, to be the headline news for 10 minutes talking about all these things at the beginning of the hour, when we have this amount of crisis here facing our state and facing our nation.
Do you think
So,
voters are
go
a
ahead.
public figure?
Yeah.
You're a public figure.
Absolutely, and that's where I'm here, not only with other public figures, but leaders that I'm privileged to serve with, talking about the public's business, talking about the things that really matter to Americans, that the same liberties and freedoms that I believe in, that have actually, and many of us have put our lives in service to protect those liberties and those freedoms. We're different than every other country because of that. It is not the division of our country, it's the very strength in our diversity. And that's what makes America great.